Welcome back to the Eastern Cape, and we're broadcasting from New Brighton Township. It's just outside of Port Elizabeth, in fact, probably about 15-20 minutes away from Port Elizabeth. And this, of course, the location we're broadcasting from is called the Red Museum location. Such an interesting place to be in, and something that not many people have had the opportunity to do. The reason being, it's been closed for 3 years because of a dispute between the community members and the municipality. Now, this museum cost 25 million rand. It was completed in 2002. That's when it was, well, actually it started being built in 2002 and then was finished in around about 2006, 2008. And then it's been open, but unfortunately the community not happy. It's a museum built in a township. And of course, this reflects the life and the feeling of the community. And this is where now I cross over to Janine Lee, because she's actually gone outside the museum to speak to some of the community members and to find out exactly what it is that they are worried about and why they are so unhappy. So let's speak to her right now. Janine, whereabout are you situated?
Thanks, Leanne. This is one of my favourite spots of Red Location Museum. You can see behind me, it's a relic of the old Red Location houses, and the red in the name comes from, they were all made from red zinc, and they've taken this house that's behind me. They were all over this community. They've picked this house up as it was, and they've put it here behind me to show people who come here and visit exactly what these houses used to look like. Some were single story, many were double story, and they're full of history, and it's really special to be out here. But, you know, Red Location Museum, it's been a hot potato, and I've got two community members here. They grew up together from this community. They live close to each other, but they each are on opposing sides. So let's quickly have a chat to Mkhululi Mbotyi, who handed over the keys. You were responsible for the closure of the museum to a large part. You've given them the keys back to the Metro to reopen the museum. Is this your standpoint, and why did you change your mind about opening it?
Okay, firstly, I must say good morning. The reason that we're changing our mind, it's because of, let me not forget about Ngonyama, because he have a vision with the resident of the Red Location, and also an ET, Mrs. Mwaz. So that he says, since, if you remember, 3 years back, we were not a part and parcel in terms of a job here at the Red Location Museum. The majority people that they were part of the parcel of working there, they are even not 10% of us in Red Location. Now he promised that things will be changed. So those are the things that will make us to close the museum, not also the houses. Yes.
Mkhululi, let me just ask you, so he's promised changes. Have you given them a timeline for these changes?
We did. Unfortunately, by next week it's coming to address the people, the public. So that what is having in mind and what is the changing is going to do. As you can see on my side, I have Mbambani. As you already talked, that he's my neighbor, and you have opposite issues. So the issue that we will fight, we've been fought for, and the problem that are promising about Mandela Church, that those problems will be resolved. So we're just looking even on those issues that they must be resolve.
Okay, so we're looking at some issues that still need to be resolved, but if they are resolved, the museum will open. But let's have a chat to Ndyebo Mbambani. Ndyebo, you are on opposing sides. You don't want your 48 square meter homes demolished and replaced with the standard 40 square meter homes. Is that correct? Yes. Tell us why you don't want that to happen.
It's simply because if we submit the 40 square meter instead of 48, I mean, it's like putting more people on a small box, you see. And for the first time, we were giving houses that were not even, clearly built. It was just walls, and you have to do all the work yourself.
So I'm understanding you got walls, and then you put in your own money, your own time, your own roofing to fix up your houses, and that's why you don't want these houses to be demolished. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
And what is your standpoint now on the opening of the museum?
No. We are not agree with my colleague. He said we are not going to let them open up the museum because there are still some outstanding issues. There are people are still crying for their houses to be rectified, but there is nothing that is happening. The only thing that I do understand is that when Mr. Mbotyi gave to the mayor the keys, it was for the mayor to come and assess the damage that has been happened to these buildings, not to open it so that it can be function, because we are still waiting for them to come and collect young people who have passed standard 10 in 2014 and 2015 and take them and train them so that when they come back, they will come and work here in this precinct.
Mr. Mbotyi, let's just get clarity on that. He says that the handover of the keys to the museum was only for assessment, not for complete reopening. Is that correct?
I think we're missing the point here. The keys that I've given to Mayor is correct, right, to fix the problem that are there in this building. But you can't just work on the precinct that is being vandalized. So I'm just missing a point even to my opponent here, because he was the part and parcel of that public meeting. We says we're giving the mandate that the museum must be reopened. So I'm just getting a bit confused now. It seems as if now we are just having an interview that we didn't even prepare ourselves, because it's like now we are just fighting in front of the cameras now.
No, Mr. Mbotyi, we're not fighting. I mean, we want to just get both sides of the story, and we know it's a difficult and it's a very complex situation, and everybody has different views. You've said on camera that there are some issues that need to be resolved, which I presume maybe are some of the same issues that Mr. Mbambani is talking about. Let's just have the final word this side. Sir, should the museum open in 3 months' time, open for the public, will you continue to fight for its closure?
Yes, we will continue up until they come and take those kids who have passed standard 10, as they promised in 2014. We are not going to sit down and let them open the museum and run it. No, it is not going to be like that. We are going to fight it until we, as the resident of Red Location, get satisfaction on that.
Okay, let's leave it at that. Here we have two opposing sides, but the winner will be when the museum is open for the public. People can come, and the main objective is for the economic development of this area and for the people who are living in this community, for their lives to be bettered. And let's hope that will happen in the near future.